Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Jack, Conrad, 45. Back from international break. We had a little bit of travel. We've redone a little bit of the set. Don't like it. We'll be moving back to our old digs, I think, next time around. Interesting week 4 in the Premier League. We've got Manchester City and Liverpool as the headliner. Everton, Tottenham, Leicester City, Chelsea, Stoke City, Manchester United, Swans, and Newcastle to round out the weekend. Here we are, the 4th week, starting off with City and Liverpool at the Etihad. And it's a match of two guys that know one another well from their time in the Bundesliga.
Two great managers, and they've always had thrilling encounters, and I think it's going to be a great match this weekend. I think
could be another calculator match. I mean, it could be a lot of goals scored. Yeah, don't know what to expect. You know, City probably going to play 3 at the back. Will Liverpool be able to exploit it?
Company not playing, so they may revert to a back 4 potentially because you lose that guy.
I mean, Otamendi, Stones,
and then who do you have besides that?
They've got a plan, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough. This is going to be a good test to see how good their back line actually is. Aguero, always good again. Yeah, defensively, Liverpool very leaky. We know. Aguero always does well. Hasn't had a great start to the season, but you know he's put 1 or 2 in. But alongside Gabriel Jesus, you know, what's his formation going to look like? Gundogan back, Sterling still out with the suspension, so it'll be interesting to see whether they bring Gundogan back off the bench. Probably he hasn't had any action since last year, right after they transferred him in.
Yeah, he's had bad problems with injuries. I mean, it's been unfortunate for him, and he's a great player when he's fit, and it just adds to the options that Manchester City have.
Yeah, they're sick in depth. It's unbelievable.
Honestly,
unbelievable.
100%.
You've got. For Liverpool, Coutinho back in training, but Klopp has confirmed he's not going to be on the side for the weekend. Probably would only have been able to play 15-20 minutes, but it sounded like they came to an agreement. They're going to save him for the Sevilla match on Wednesday to kick off the Champions League campaign. Probably a smart move, but all accounts, he's happy to be back. So who knows how much of this drama was manufactured versus real.
A lot of the talk is he's going to do like a Suarez kind of move where the year before, Liverpool's almost had a winning season in 2013-14. He wanted to leave to Barcelona, but he waited a year and had his best year. And Coutinho hopefully is going to do the same thing for Liverpool. It just remains to be seen if he can do that.
The thing for him is consistency. He'll 100%. Play fantastic in 2, 3, 4 matches and then disappear for stretches, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, definitely. It is an issue, and if he can begin to curb that, he is one of the best in the world when he's...
Went on.
100%.
Unbelievable. We talked about it. Company out.
Yep, 100%. And that's an issue for them. I mean, he's their best defender, undoubtedly. Their captain.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, without him, they have an issue at the back. And I think Liverpool are going to try and exploit that with that ridiculous pace and Salah and Mane and with Firmino.
Mane and Salah off the edge.
Yeah, and then
Firmino in the middle. I mean, they can play anywhere. They start up in that front 3.
Fluid.
But they are absolutely fluid. And amazing that Mane and Salah both can play either side.
It's crazy.
Pitch.
It's crazy.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's just amazing. And then you got the new guy.
And then, you got Chamberlain coming in.
Yep.
He'll come in off the bench. You know, Klopp has said he's going to use him early and often. But I don't imagine he's going to get too many starting opportunities, especially when Lallana comes back. But again, doing what United are trying to do, what City are doing with depth. I mean, it was a good signing
and he's versatile. He played right wing back for Arsenal. I mean, he can play on almost either wing. He can play he's going to try and play in the midfield, and he can play right wing back. And it just adds to your team whenever you have guys like that.
I think Wijnaldum is probably the most vulnerable. I'm going to guess of the current 3 that are
probably. I mean, yeah. I don't think he's going to go into the starting 11 quite yet, because if you have Coutinho there, it kind of upsets the balance. Having maybe Chan, Coutinho, and Chamberlain, that's a bit off balance. You maybe want to keep a Henderson, but
I think
adds depth. 100%.
I think it was a great signing for them. So coming down, we've both got it 2-1 to Liverpool, obviously away. There could be twice as many goals scored in this match. It wouldn't surprise anybody.
100%. And I believe there was a 0-0 draw last year, so it's very possible that happens also. I mean, Liverpool would probably be happy with the point. They get all 3 points, they're ecstatic.
Yeah. Well, they haven't dropped. They've dropped 2. They're 7 from 3. Same with City. Second only to United.
Yep.
So Huddersfield Town right up there with them. Strange as that sounds to say. Everton and Spurs.
Everton have had a tough start to the season when you think about it. I mean, play like Chelsea.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had a tough start of the season, and they've done relatively well.
Well, we're billing this as the battle between 2 guys who used to manage at Southampton. And neither one of them ended up at Liverpool, which is where Southampton players go. His managers end up going elsewhere. So
interesting.
But it does look like, I'm not sure what Pochettino's trying to do here. I think he's trying to steal his pen, it looks like. I'm not sure.
All right. And then...
So it's the international break highlight or low light, if you will, for Wayne Rooney and Everton getting caught behind the wheel of a car with somebody not his wife. Bad situation. Cohen very disappointed, but not disappointed enough
to bench him
to start. I don't know what to think about this as a father.
He's a bit of an issue.
It's terrible. It's a bad example to set, right?
100%.
He's valuable to the side. I understand that. We struggle with this with athletes in this country, football players, basketball players, baseball players who don't necessarily... And we are just as victim to that as well. I mean, we make poor choices every day as regular human beings.
And it's
not
just
people that are in the
publicized
limelight.
because he's in the spotlight. Exactly.
Not cool. But we'll see how he turns out. You know, I hope he gets... If he needs help, we hope he gets the help that he needs.
Hopefully.
So.
We wish the best.
Ross Barkley. Still
my favorite
at Everton. Whoa, he can barely walk.
Basically.
So they're rumored to be moving for $50 million. Then they cut price to 40, and then to 30, and then rumored that he walked off the medical table at Chelsea. He's claiming that didn't occur. Don't know what the real truth of the matter is, but now he's risky to leave on a free come January.
And he's injured, so I mean, he's not much value to Everton. I think they much would have rather gotten the money now.
Oh, of course.
100%, because, I mean, he's not much value to them, and he's probably going to leave to a Spurs or an Everton, if not in January,
Chelsea.
Chelsea, for a very small fee.
But I don't think they have to sign him to a contract or he walks.
Yeah, obviously. Or they just sell him for a tiny fee, and then they get him in January. Like, say Spurs want to get him in January instead of waiting all the way until July. But it looks like he's going to be out no matter what. Yeah. Which is disappointing for...
Well, I mean, he's tried to reinforce with the expectation that he's going to lose him.
Yeah.
I mean, but...
Yep. Sigurdsson kind of speaks to that.
Spurs end up with a good window
Honestly.
End of this. I mean, we're doing a little bit of transfer stupid in here, but, I mean, they end up with Aurier, Llorente, and Foyth all at the end to go with, the earlier move for Davinson Sanchez. Not bad. I mean, Aurier is a bit of a hothead, so you never know what's going to happen with him, but...
He upgrades him at right back, which was their big loss they had.
Yeah.
And they got a little extra money for Walker and Aurier. I think it's a bit more of a complete right back. But overall, a good summer. I mean, Llorente is the one that I'm...
He's a good backup.
He's a backup.
I mean, they don't have anything behind
They had Janssen, but I believe they loaned him out today.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
But...
Fenerbahce.
Yep, Fenerbahce. I think it's overall... I said if they had a good summer, they would have a great chance of...
This makes them...
And it gives them a lot more strength. Now, there are still a few question marks, but I think they have upgraded a lot.
They've got the problem at home. Obviously, they're on the road this week, but, and then they've got Champions League. They got a couple more players with Champions League experience. This was on Spurs. It reminded me of something, and it reminded me of something
also.
Also British from way back in the when. You've got all the video coming off of everybody's bellies, and it's the Teletubbies.
Basically. Or the Spurs Tubbies.
Clearly the content guys at Spurs were inspired by their youth growing up watching the Teletubbies. I remember watching this at 5:30 in the morning when he and his brother would wake up and
watch it, yeah.
It's either that or Russian nesting dolls. I'm not sure which it is. Inspiration came from somewhere.
Yeah. Hopefully they're going to need some inspiration to beat Everton, but I think we got it.
We've both got them. I've got a little more comfortable 2-0. I don't see Everton putting anything past that back line.
There's some question marks about the fluidity of Everton. They look like a collection of pieces, less so a squad that has an idea.
I agree. Not hanging together yet.
So, I mean, that's the big question mark with Everton. If they can get that together, they could challenge the top six, but it's going to be tough, definitely.
I mean, think of the Spurs are good even as they are sit, but they don't have Wanyama, no Rose, no Lamella, no Nkodu. I mean, they're still really, really good shape.
Which does speak to the depth. And after a difficult Champions League group, that's a little disappointing for them because, I mean, they got good enough depth to compete on multiple fronts. So,
but they got drawn in the group of death, which we'll talk about another episode.
100%.
All right, Leicester City and Chelsea. This is going to be an interesting one. The last time we'll use this until the next time he gets a card. This is, his third game of his He's played 14 minutes thus far for Chelsea. This is match week 4. Cahill out. Hazard rumored to be back tomorrow, but Mahrez still inside for Leicester City.
He was rumored to be interested in a Chelsea move, and Chelsea were rumored to be interested in a move for him.
He was rumored to be in Barcelona on transfer deadline day.
Going to Roma, to Arsenal. And
where's Waldo? Where's Riyadh?
Yeah, basically, he's still in Leicester, and that's great for them. I mean, you wonder about his mindset. He's a little disappointed to stay.
But he's not pulled a Coutinho and gotten sullen.
He's done this the best way you can do it. And I mean, he ended up with the same result. So, I mean, it makes you wonder, now have players lost that power to be able to just force their way out?
It's an interesting conversation. You know, the power is clearly shifted, not in the agent's hands anymore. You have so many people saying no. I mean, you have people turning down massive amounts of money.
Southampton 60 to 70 million for Van Dijk. Liverpool over 100 million for Coutinho. They're not worth that much. Like, let's just be honest.
But they're worth what people are willing to pay them, right?
Yes.
But these clubs are saying no, they're worth more to us to stay in the side and give us a better shot at
it would cost more to get a replacement,
especially late in the window.
Good, especially, yeah.
Oh, and now the Premier League is looking to close the window on August 9th next year. It's 2018. I think it'll be 2018. Next year, not 19.
Next year, yeah.
But they could still lose players late in the window with the other European clubs, and they can't restore it.
And the reason I don't really understand this is for that 21, 22 days that you lose at the transfer window, every other European club
is gunning for you.
Or for their targets. So say you're Arsenal going for Jean-Michel Seri, who plays for Nice.
Yeah.
And you miss him out before the deadline, and
everybody
else can still go after him. Which
they have to undo that decision.
I think they do, but then it also forces them to push it a lot further, or a lot earlier. And then
July
interesting thing next year is the World Cup ends 4 weeks before the
July 14th is the final,
and so he's got 4 weeks.
It's not even. It's like 3 weeks. August 9th.
You got that much time
to do your business,
to do all of your business, which is just going to be hectic.
And a lot of the big clubs did not vote for it. It was not. It did not have to be.
Both Manchester clubs voted against it.
It was a simple majority. We'll table that, and that's a transfer stupid conversation, which is really good. But Hazard is a big deal for Chelsea to get him back.
They do have the midweek game in the Champions League, I believe. I'm not 100%.
I don't know whether it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday game.
Yeah. And I think
he played internationally. I don't remember how many minutes he played, but he's back, and it's a big thing for them. They haven't really struggled necessarily.
They've got good depth, which is shown.
But it's clear they miss him, and getting him back is going to be big.
I think that is going to reflect.
Yeah, that's a big number. It doesn't surprise me. I'm calling it a draw. I think Leicester City. I think Shakespeare's got them playing an attractive style of football. They're good enough at the back. I think Huth is back, but I don't know if they're going to be able to play.
I think. It's a very interesting match. I mean, this Premier League weekend's got great depth in terms of matches. Because it could very easily be this, or it could very easily be this. It's just that close. The margins are so fine.
We don't talk about our picks before,
no, we don't.
Right before we record. So it's interesting to see. A lot of times we're lockstep, and something like this, we're clearly not on the same page. Yeah. But I don't know. I think City's got it in them to keep this one close. Stoke and United. Stoke, always a tough place to play.
Already fallen into that pitfall.
Typical Jose, the squad is strong. And it's true. They are playing phenomenally well.
Probably right now the favorites. I mean, just considering how well they
haven't conceded. They've put 10 past. I mean, two games with 4 goals.
It's going to be tough, but again, this is not like what I've said, that it's early. Let's see how they're doing in 10, 15 games. Yeah. And if they're continuing this success, 100% they're favorites to win the Premier League. But right now, I'm not jumping to that conclusion quite yet.
I'm not. The weaknesses are Daley Blind. That's about it for United.
Lindelof, I don't know if he's starting.
He's not going to play.
But they're center backs.
Jones and Smalling, and
they
don't have to be good. You got the hay behind them in that midfield.
That's very, very true. I mean, Matic does a great job of guarding that. It does cover that weakness of their team. But I think they're going to get exposed in that area at some point this season.
Yeah.
Whether it's against Liverpool, against a Chelsea. Because they haven't played anybody who's finished super high last season. Leicester has been their
only one. That was a 2-0 victory. Right. So
where, I mean, you wonder, is it not truly reflecting their ability this year? But they have played phenomenally, undoubtedly.
Been very good.
And then
more Chelsea players out on loan. You forget Kurt Zuma is at Stoke
he's
now.
a phenomenal player.
He's great.
He's great on the ball. He's quick. He's strong. I mean,
they could have used him when Cahill was out with red card.
I mean, honestly, they could have. But I think he's good for Stoke. I think he adds a lot to their team.
And a lot of these teams, we're going to touch on it when we're talking about Swans next. It's like these mid-table clubs just picking up really good players. Granted, they're not permanents, but they're great players to help them develop their squad and compete.
Yeah, because you got to compete as well as trying to develop your own team, and it's kind of hard to do both sometimes.
So we touched on this. This is an amazing number. All of 17 matches, they've conceded 10 goals in the Premier League.
That's just crazy.
I've got De Gea as my Golden Glove winner.
And that includes last half of last season.
Yeah. I mean, it's
crazy.
A ridiculous number. I mean, it's a spread of 10 to 24 for your top 6.
It's crazy.
In terms of, that's a big number. It's 14 goals.
I think he's undoubted. I think he has proven in the last few years that he's probably the best keeper in the world. I think
there's no question to me.
There's in the hardest league where every single weekend you got competition, and with the center backs, we mentioned it. Their center backs aren't great.
They don't have to.
He makes the defense look fantastic.
Matic on one side, him on the back side. I mean,
they're very strong overall. I think
crazy.
It always helps to have someone of his talent in goal, 100%.
I've got it as a 3-0. United keep that scoreless, that clean sheet streak into their fourth match.
I think United, they got all what it takes to win, and they're definitely favored to win. But I think Stoke aren't an easy place to go to. Arsenal lost 1-0 there. I think they could face a little bit of trouble.
Wrong. This could be a banana peel game for United. I don't know. I don't see it.
Well, could be, but I agree.
Swansea and United. We bring this one up because of the transfer business that Swans have done. Benitez rumored to be out. I guess he had a little bit of surgery. Hopefully he is okay. Sounds like he's got an infection as a result of surgery. Will not be at the Liberty Stadium tomorrow. Actually, no, this is a Sunday match, I think. I can't recall. I guess it's right here. I can go and look. Yeah, oh no, it's a Saturday match. This is the...
Wait.
No, that's not updated. That's wrong. We're not looking at it. Mbemba out for United. Loss. I don't know what to expect from this Newcastle United team. They've been inconsistent. They still don't have...
They've got good championship players, but not a ton of Premier League talent.
It's not listed on the match notes, but Shelby is still out, yes?
Yes, because
it's a straight red.
No. Available after serving his own ban.
Oh, there we go. It was just a one because it was a double yellow. It wasn't a straight red, so it was just a one match ban.
What?
Because it wasn't in the first match.
I thought it was.
Because he'd be in the same situation as.
It was in the first match.
As Cahill, so it wasn't a straight red. Cahill's was a straight red.
I just know he's back. He's back, and that's big for them. He's a good player in their team.
Jordan Ayew back, but I mean I think the big thing for Swans is picking up a player like Renato Sanchez. I mean, yeah, he's young. But
I think his ceiling is so high, and even right now, he's phenomenal.
He's great.
He just had a bad year at Bayern, which I think has pulled down his reputation to. No offense to Swansea, but they're not the higher caliber teams. He was
rumored to go for like 30 or 40 million to Liverpool, some of these other big
Chelsea,
sides.
and this is a good move for everyone involved. Bayern wanted to get game time so he can develop when he goes back. Renato Sanchez wants to be playing in the most competitive league in the world.
And he's going to play a lot.
And Swansea needed a good player to come into their team to upgrade them for not too much money.
10 million loan fee, right?
Yeah, 10 million
something like that. I mean, look, he's never carried a club. He had a great team around him when he was playing in the Portuguese league.
Yeah. And the competition
wasn't as good. He was thrown into a Bayern side where it has otherworldly talent around him and playing against phenomenal competition.
I think this is going to be
a little over his head.
This is going to be a big test for him.
Yeah.
This could be not a make or break time, but if he performs well here, it could be.
I don't know. I don't think he goes back to Bayern. I think he ends up getting sold at some point. I don't think Bayern is going to put him in the side.
You got Vidal, you got Thiago. Now they brought in Quarantine Tolisso.
Thiago, arguably one of the best players in the entirety of all European football last year.
James Rodriguez also brought in as attacking midfielder.
Yeah, I forgot about Rodriguez. Yeah. I mean
they do great business there.
This was a great bit of business for Swansea. I mean,
and
fantastic. One of the transfers sneaky. No, there was not a single report of that actually taking place or rumored. So for them to do that under cover of darkness is unbelievable.
Finessed it.
Unbelievable.
From everyone.
I got it as a Did you have this call this a draw? Yeah,
I called this a draw. Yeah,
I didn't screw up again.
I think it's close. I think it's gonna be a close game. Newcastle. I mean, they came off of a great win against West Ham, but I think Swansea, especially with Sanchez and Bonnie coming in, that could be a bit of a boost for them.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, we didn't mention
a lot of experience. So Sanchez doesn't have to necessarily carry the side because
you have a good guy at the top.
I don't know how good he is as a leader, Bonnie, but
I mean, he's a good goal
who's
scorer.
somebody their captain? I don't know who their captain is.
I don't know.
I'll find that out.
They've got I think they have enough to potentially get a point here, and I think it doesn't look great for Swansea. I mean, they don't. I don't think they have the team. It's not Sanchez's fault. It's not Bonnie's.
Until
Bonnie's
Bonnie or Sanchez came in, I have them going down this season.
I think there's still a chance.
They may have enough now to stay up.
It makes it interesting.
Yes,
100%.
certainly. It depends what happens with West Ham. If they get their crap together, they're going to go down. I mean, and I don't know that Bilic is going to make it through the next half of the season, but
Definitely.
We'll see. All right, that's it for our Week 4 preview. Please give us a like, a subscribe, some comments if you will. We will be back at some point next week with the European, the Champions League preview, and we were looking at all 8 groups and how we think it's going to shake out. So, thank you very much. Have an enjoyable rest of your day, Jack and Conrad. This has been 45. Take care.